So now what we want to do? We want to install additional application server instance. Now what we want to do? We want to install additional application server instance. Additional application server instance. It is one of the instance. It is one of the instance in ABAP based SAP system. It is one of the instance in ABAP based SAP system. Additional application server instance. In olden days, it is called as dialog instance. In olden days, it is dialog instance. Now it is changed as additional application server instance. In shortcut, AAS. AAS is not a mandatory instance. AAS is not a mandatory instance. Means you have requirement, means on that time only you want to install AAS. Okay, you have requirement. You want to install AAS. There is a requirement. On that time only you want to install. Otherwise, no need to install the additional application server instance. When you get that requirement, why you want to install AAS? Why you want to install AAS? So already, what are the instances we installed already in the system? Primary application server instance, ASCS instance, database instance. These three instances already we installed in the system. Already these three instances we installed: primary application server instance, ASCS instance, database instance. In this instance, a primary application server instance is only the application server instance. This one only application server instances. Work process is available inside application server instance only. Okay, work process is available inside application server instance only. Okay, now that means work here in these three instances, work process is available inside primary application server instance only. Okay, so in primary application server instance, dialog work process is available. Dialog work process is available in primary application server instance. Dialog work process is available. So maximum how many dialog work process you maintain is possible. In primary application server instance, maximum how many dialog work process maintain is possible? 100. Minimum 2. That means in in primary application server instance, compulsory minimum 2 dialog work process you want to maintain. Maximum 100 is possible. 100 is possible. Okay. So here, suppose minimum 2 I did not maintain, only 1 dialog work process I maintain in primary application server instance. What will be happen? When you try to start that instance, it will not start. Without starting instance, it is not possible to log on to that primary application server instance. That means minimum 2 dialog work process compulsory want to maintain in primary application server instance, maximum 100. 1 dialog work process. 1 dialog work process. How many user requests handle? 1 dialog work process. How many user requests handle? 10. 10 users. Means at a time 10 users log in into the SAP system. One dial-over process only handle the 10 users request. There is a bank is there. In bank 10 counters is there. Okay, in bank 100 counters is there. There is a bank. In bank 100 counters is there. Each counter we want to stand 10 persons only. 10 people only. In each counter 10 people only want to stand. In one counter already 10 people stand. As per rule, in each counter 10 people only we stand. So after 10 people stand in counter 1, remaining people where we want to stand in counter 2. Like that, you want to, depending on people, you want to increase the counter. Okay, so here in bank, how many counters is there? 100 counters is there in bank. 100 counters is there in bank. Each counter ten people means 100 into 10, 1000 peoples is supported. Here also same, one dial-over process handle 10 users. Means how many dial-over process maintain is possible in primary application server instance? 100. 100 into 10, 1000 users at a time. 1000 users at a time login into the primary application server instance is possible. Okay, at a time 1000 users login into the primary application server instance is possible. Is supported. How many users is supported primary application server instance? 1000 users. Suppose in my company 750 employees is there. Only in that 750 employees, 700 people want to log on. 700 users only want to log on to this primary application server instance. Here it is 1000 users is supported. In my company 700 users is there. In my company only 700 users is there. That means this system is supported because primary application server instance is supported 1000 users. In my company only 700 users is there. That means I no need to install. Right? No need to install additional application server instance. I no need to install additional application server instance. Okay, suppose in my company 1500, in my company 1500 users is there, 1500 users is there in my company. So that 1500 users want to log on into the system. So 1500 users is there in my company. Okay, here primary application server instance 1000 users only is supported. Okay, 1000 users login in the SAP system. Remaining 500 users waiting. Waiting is not possible in company. On the time, what we want to do? We install one application server instance. Why we will install one application server instance? We install another primary application server instance. We install another PS. No, it is not possible to install another PS because already in that system one PS is there. Means you want to maintain only one PS only. Okay, so that's why another primary application server instance install is not possible. That's why you want to install additional application server instance. For remaining 500 users, we want to install additional application server instance. Remaining 500 users are waiting. For that purpose, we install one additional application server instance. So here already all of you know. Here, double click this one. USR, SAP, SID. Here already primary application server instance is available in this system. Now I try to install another primary application server instance. It is not possible. Why? In this system already primary application server instance is there. That means only one primary application server instance only you want to maintain, it is possible. So we want means what we do? We want to install additional application server instance. Why? What is available inside primary application server instance, same is available inside additional application server instance. That means in additional application server instance also, you maintain 100 dialog work process. In additional application server instance also, 1000 users login possible. Okay, remaining 500 users, they logged into this additional application server instance. For example, in my company, I have 2500 users. On the time, 1000 users logged in PS. Additional application server instance also supported one AAS. Okay, additional application server instance also supported AAS. Here in 2500 users, 1000 users they logged in PS, 1000 users they logged in AAS. Remaining 500 users, for that purpose also we want to install another additional application server instance. In additional application server instance, there is no limit. No limit for installing additional application server instance. You install 100 additional application server instance for like that 25, 50 additional application server instance you have requirement you want to install means install, it is supported. Depending on your requirement. Requirement means this one only. So here 1500 users is there. On the time I want only one additional application server instance. Here 750 employees only is there. On the time I no need additional application server instance. Here 1500 users. On the time I want to install one additional application server instance. Here in this company 2500 users is there. On the time I want to install two additional application server instance. But in this company only 750 users. That's why I no need to install additional application server instance. There is no requirement. So that is depending on users you want to install. In company they ask you why you want to install additional application server instance means I want more than 100 dialog work process for that purpose. For that purpose, I install AAS. In PS only 100 dialog work process only. You want more miss? That's miss. That one. So what? So PAS and AAS. These two only application server instances. That's why in these two instances only work process is available. So first in these two instances, first which application server you install primary. After installing primary application server instance only, it is possible to install additional application server instance. First, which application server instance I install? Primary application server instance. Suppose I did not install PAS, AAS database. I start directly installing AAS. Is possible? Answer, no. No, it is not possible. Without installing primary application server instance, AAS instance, database instance, it is not possible to install additional application server instance. So what are the application server instances? PAS and AAS only. First, which application server instance you are installing? Primary application server instance. After you have requirement means all the time only you install additional application server instance. I want more than 100 dial work process. For that purpose only, I install additional application server instance. In company, compulsory they install additional application server instances. For example, for production system, they install 15 to 25 additional application server instances compulsory, depending on the landscape. So in company, they have requirement, you want to install additional application server instance means you want to install additional application server instance. Without installing primary application server instance, AAS instance, database instance, you want to start directly additional application server instance, it will not install. Work process is available inside primary application server instance and additional application server instances only. Now, I show how to install. So after installing primary application server instance, AAS instance, database instance, I did not restart or shut down the system. Same in that administrator only I logged in. After installation is completed, you got 2 accounts. After installation is completed, you got 2 accounts. After installation completed, you got 2 accounts. One is administrator and another one is SID ADM. SID ADM. SID ADM is my SID is NWA ADM. This one. When you are using SWPM tool, compulsory you want to log in administrator. Okay, when you are using SWPM tool, compulsory you want to log in administrator account only. By using SWPM tool only, you want to install AAS. By using SWPM tool only, I want to install AAS. That means compulsory I want to log in administrator account only. You did not log in SID ADM account. You want to log in administrator account. And you check before starting SWPM tool, you check before starting SWPM tool, you check AAS instance is running or not. Why I want to check? Before starting for installation of AAS, before starting SWPM tool, why I want to check the AAS instance? Suppose AAS instance is in stop means AAS install is not possible. That means first You logged in administrator. This is one of the rule. This is the rule one. First, what you want to do before installing AAS, this rule you want to follow. Second, you check ACS instance is running. Suppose it is not running, means to start it. Okay, so these two rules compulsory you want to follow. Before installing additional application server instance, these two rules compulsory you want to follow. What is the rule one? Compulsory, you want to log in administrator account only. That is the rule one. Second step, you check ACS instance is running or not. It is running means, okay, directly you use SWPM tool and start the AAS installation. Suppose it is not running means, first you start the ACS instance. Means first you start whatever instances you install, you start all the instances and start the AS. Here in my system, already I logged in administrator account only. After installation is completed, I did not restart or shut down the system. That's why already in this system, ACS instance is running. That means I directly want to install additional application server instance now. Double click this PC and double click D drive. Double click this one and double click SWPM folder. Now scroll down and double click SAP stick and close this one. So now we are installing additional application server instance on SAP NetWeaver 7.5 AAS ABAP system. Software provisioning manager. I am opening software provisioning manager. By using SWPM tool only, we want to install. User administrator. And my administrator password is admin.123 small letters and click sign in. Now scroll down. My soft product version is SAP NetWeaver 7.5 SPAN. My database is MS SQL Server SPAN. What we are doing? We are doing installation. SPAN installation. So here, scroll down here, additional SAP system instances is there. SPAN this one. Here, additional application server instance. Select or double click. If required, you can add application server instance to an already installed SAP system. Okay, already installed SAP system means before installing PS, ACS instance and database instance, it is not possible to install primary additional application server instance. So based on first you install primary application server instance, ACS instance, database instance. After only you want to install additional application server instance. That's you have requirement. If required on the time only you want to install. Click next. Always custom only. Select custom and click next. Here, I told without installing primary application server instance, ASCS instance, it is not possible to install additional application server instance. When you click next, it does not allow without installing. Why? When you install ASCS instance, primary application server instance, on that time only you got this profile. SID, SYS profile. Here you got. I already installed. That's why that location is available. Installation drive, USR, SAP, SID, SYS, profile. Okay. So suppose you did not install primary application server instance, ASCS instance, means you did not get this one. So suppose in your system, this path is not there. In your system, this path is not there. Means when you click next, means they did not allow to go to the next page. How you get that path? When you install primary application server instance, ASCS instance, you got that folders, files, and everything. That's why I'm telling. Without installing primary application server instance, ASCS instance, database instance, it is not possible to install additional application server instance. Click next. Master password means after installation is completed, you want to start the additional application server instance by using this password. Same password I am using, basis.123 small letters. And click next. Okay, here what they asking your database ID, DBS ID. Your database ID, DBS ID. So it is NWA. My SAP system ID and database ID is NWA. It is correct. Click next. Okay, click next here. Now scroll down. SAP host agent .sar status still missing. That means we want to provide SAP host agent .sar. On that time only, they will be allowed to go to the next page. In this screen, they asking SAP host agent .sar. We want to provide that file. Click here. In D drive, in this one, in kernel folder, that file is there. SAP host agent .sar. Okay, and click next. Now scroll down. Status available. Status available means you provided correct file. they give the permission to go to the next page. Click next here. So they asking instance number, additional application server instance number by default 00. You want to change this change. For example, in this training, I'm using 12. Additional application server instance number is 12. Okay, so click next. Already they telling in this system already you install AAS instance 10 instance number, primary application server instance 11 like that. Click next. So in additional application server instance, after installation is completed, you got 10 dialer work process and 6 background work process. You want to increase or decrease means increase and decrease here. So here I'm not increasing and decreasing. I use default values only and click next. Click next here. Finally, review parameters. Parameter summary screen. Is there any changes means change here. Suppose there is no changes means click next. Executive service. It will complete within 15 minutes in my system. Additional application server instance will be complete within 15 minutes in my system. We want to wait. Okay, finally, we got the success message. We installed additional application server instance successfully. This is the way we want to install additional application server instance. Click OK. Click close. Click exist and close the browser.